Hi everyone, this is Neel, Raithatha, consultant, audiologist and director of ClearWax. Thank you for joining me in my latest video using the WAXscope. This is using our original WAXscope specular. It's a size 2. We're still in the process of manufacturing the new teardrop specular for the size 2. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll have that. But as you can see, we've got a fantastic view. Now this patient attends every year, it's almost on the dot. So it's a perennial wax removal. There's a lot of dead skin here, and this is their left ear. I'll upload their right ear in a separate video. And you can see the ear canal slightly narrowed and it widens. And I'm just trying to separate this dead skin at the base. You can see it's really dry, very adherent. And also, beyond the narrowing, the ear canal widens, so the plug of wax and skin is filling up that wider space. So to remove this, we almost have to shrink the wax and skin plugs. That's why I'm going around the edges, bringing it in to not only separate the plug from the canal walls. You can see this white peripheral matrix, if you like, a silvery matrix, which is engulfing the plug, and that skin, that silvery matrix, is also attached to the canal wall. It's almost like a keratosis obstrucans. It's one of the hallmark diagnostic symptoms for keratosis obstrucans. So they've got an epidermal plug of skin enveloped by this silver white peripheral. Now this isn't keratosis obstrucans, but it's got this skin, and so that's the reason for the whiter layer of skin. It's a fresher layer of skin, and as the ear sheds more skin, that fresher layer of skin, that silvery matrix, will be compressed into the core and oxidized, so it'll become darker in appearance. So again, I'm just going all the way around. I think I'm going to use the ear pick. Now, the ear pick didn't remove the plug, and in fact, it just cut through it. But actually, that was quite important, because when you cut through it, when you're bringing the plug in from the sides, there's some space there. And I imagine this plug being really compressed, and you're trying to bring in the plug from the sides, but the core is so dense, it's going to be hard to really shrink it. But when you cut through it, it creates a bit more space in the center of the core. So when you bring the plug inwards, it kind of makes the plug smaller. So I'm just going around the top as well. See this silvery white matrix is kind of all the way around, particularly at the base and posteriorly, the back part of the ear canal. Just giving it a little wriggle. Now this patient also suffers from chronic eustachian tube dysfunction. So the net effect of that is that the hammer bone, the malleus, it's somewhat deformed, if that's the correct word, but the proper word is remodeled. It's not your typical hammer bone. And that's because the eardrum, when it's sucked in, the eardrum wraps itself around the hammer bone, but also it can wrap itself around the anvil, also known as the incus, and also the stirrup bone, the stapes, the second and third bones. And when it wraps itself around it, it almost suffocates it. So it compresses all the blood vessels. So the bone is starved of the blood, so it kind of begins to break away and die. But also the compression of the eardrum being wrapped around, it instigates a process called bony resorption, which leads to bony remodeling. So what bony resorption is, on the surface of the bone, you've got specialized bone cells, osteoclasts, which break down bone into its minerals and core tissue, and osteoblasts, which generate new bone. Now, the bone in our bodies, the outer layer of the bone, is constantly recycling itself. And the reason for that, there's a good reason for it actually. So the outer layer of bone can become a bit brittle. There can be some bacteria on there. So by the osteoclast breaking down the outer layer of the bone, you're getting rid of all the brittle bone. And then you've got new bone being formed behind it. So it's the recycling process of the bone is just to keep the integrity of the bone in check. But in this case, the osteoclasts are active, but the osteoblasts are not. So it's just breaking down the bone a little bit. And you've probably seen a few patients of mine with this. So I'm just working at it. I'm probably a bit hesitant to use manual instruments at the moment because the plug, I've got the outer bit out, but this plug does extend. all the way to the eardrum. So because we can't see the tail end of the plug, just going to be careful because we don't want to get the pick in this case and making contact with the eardrums. It'll cause trauma. So I've reached out for the pick. I've just cut through the center. Now, part of me was hoping that if it's just more of a solid piece, that it will come out in a big plug, but and I've had a few of these just recently. I had a really complex one, my last one today. It's almost like a chewing gum consistency. The right side was a bit firmer, and ironically, and I'm sure it's just pure coincidence, but the patient who I literally just saw about an hour ago, similar thing, the left ear was like chewing gum, and that was far more complex than this. It's got a very narrow ear, very inclined, and they again come almost every year, and I enjoy it, but it is complex. So the left side took a while, but the right side, it was just as blocked, but the wax was like stone. And without kind of giving too much detail away, because I will upload the video, on the right side, my own manual instruments, the carbon fiber, which is really, really strong, I had to use that initially to create an opening at the top. And then I had to use the metal ear hook. Now the metal ear hook's a bit chubbier, so it wouldn't have gone into that gap. So I used them in tandem, and that literally came out in seconds. So ironically, if the wax is really, really rock solid, sometimes it's easier to remove. It's when it's this kind of consistency. Now there might be some fungal involvement because you've got kind of some black patches there. Now that could just be oxidization, but it could also be some fungi, some Aspergillus niger, which is a strain of fungi that actually lives in the ear, typically harmlessly. So the skin in the ear canal has its own ecosystem. We call it a skin flora. It's not just the skin in the ear, it's all the skin around our body. So you've got bacteria and fungi that kind of live symbiotically in the ear. And at normal conditions, they don't cause the ear any harm. It's just when the conditions of the ear changes, so the temperature increases, if there's increased humidity, moisture, the pH level of the ear increases, for example. And sometimes you can get an overgrowth of a certain bacteria and fungi. So I'm pretty sure there's a bit of fungi there, just at the base. You can see it looks like some spores feeding on this wax plug. So I was slowly bringing this forwards. And with wax removal, you have to sometimes lay the groundwork. And I'm probably guilty of it myself. When I first started doing wax removal, when I was, a bit wet behind the ears, I just thought you go in, you suck it, and it comes out. It's simple as that. God, was I wrong? And then obviously it's patient comfort. And that was the big thing with the patient I saw this afternoon. They've got such narrow and inclined ears. And I think probably needed to be a bit braver sooner with his ear, with his left ear. But again, I've had trauma to my ear, so I know exactly what it feels like. And even if I think now that I'm talking about it, the pain almost comes back. So let's see, we want to make sure it's comfortable for the patient. That's the key. So we've got this big plug. I think there's another piece in there, deeper in the ear. So with the new teardrop specular, you can see there's little kind of hair strands. You won't really see them anymore. Now with suck, it pushes it away, but that's going to eradicate that. And just remove that last bit. Going to get the eardrum in focus. I'm going to just pause. You can see that hammer bone. It doesn't look like a normal hammer bone. We did check the pressure. Now, although posteriorly it's inflated, it's bulging slightly, overall the eardrum is sucked in, and they've used the O2 vent nasal balloon and some nasal spray. It's a chronic problem, and they generally do manage it very well. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. Take care, keep well, speak soon. Bye.